with your head. You think you're mad, too unstable, kicking in chairs and knocking down tables in a restaurant in a West End town. Call the police, there's a madman around, running down underground to a dive bar in a West End town. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. West End girls. began. If you want to belong, I was a lonely boy, no strength, no joy, in a world of my own. At the back of the garden, I didn't want to compete or play out on the street or in a secret life. I was a roundhead general. I could leave you, say goodbye, or I could love you if I tried, and I could. And left to my own devices, I probably would. Left to my own devices, I probably would. Oh, I would. I was faced with a choice at a difficult age. Would I write a book, or should I take to the stage? But in the back of my head I heard distant feet, Che Guevara and Debussy to a disco beat. It's not a crime when you look the way you do, the way I like to picture you. When I get home, it's late at night, I pour a drink and watch the fight. Turn off the TV, look at a book, pick up the phone, fix some food. Maybe I'll sit up all night and day, waiting for the minute I hear you say, I could leave you, say goodbye, or I could love you if I tried, and I could. And left to my own devices, I probably would. Come on, baby, scratching its claws all over my habitat, giving no love and getting fat. Oh, you can get lonely, and a cat's no help with that. pass, but the music shall last. I can hear it on a timeless wavelength, never dissipating, but giving us strength. I hope it's gonna be alright. 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 Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could. Little things I should have said and done, I never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. Satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. You were always in my house. You are always on my mind, it's true. I never thought of anyone else but you. You are on my mind, and in my dreams I should have stopped to make you see you are always